Hey, Silvera, what is up? Welcome, welcome. We're getting our bearings. We are remembering what it is like to play Daggerfall after like a week and a half of not touching the game. What is up, Spartan? What is up, Silvera? Welcome back. So I booted up the game just for a bit to kind of take a look around and see what there is to do, see what's pending, and I remembered we have a dungeon nearby that really humbled us a moment ago. Okay, up here. Oh yeah, thanks. I had a great Christmas, Spartan. Thanks for asking. What about you? I had a week off of work. I got a I don't know, this is like the first year where my son was really invested in Christmas and interested in it. It's cool making that kind of magic happen for him. I got some goodies out of it as well. Hey, Twash Star. Yeah, I saw your comment on the the birth sign solution video. Thanks for checking that out. I'm glad you're enjoying it. Yeah, so as far as your comment about Morrowind or Oblivion Let's Plays, I actually do have a couple of episodes of a Morrowind Ironman playthrough that uses the characters generated at the end of that video. Just kind of working on getting a backlog and getting that stuff edited and stuff like that. What is up, Half Piece, Steven, Cosmi, welcome back. You're still sick, unfortunately. I hate to hear that. Yeah, my wife and my son had the flu. I don't know if I gave you all that update the last time I was streaming or if it was more recent than that, but everybody but me was dealing with the flu, it seems like. All right, so as far as goals for this stream go, well, prayers for your mom, Steven. Hope she's doing okay. But yeah, goals for this stream. We have our reputation for both of our factions really coming along. We got 29 in the temple, that's what's it called, the House of Dibella, and then 25 in the Fighters Guild. Now they're not going to be actually like giving us promotions that often as we saw, because we do so much overland travel at only a few days pass in the time. So like hours of gameplay only translates to a few days of in-game time. It was only whenever we traveled away to like across the pond and came back that we got promoted. So that's going to be kind of tedious because I want to increase my goal. I want to like my rank. I want to be able to have access to like the potion maker and stuff like that. We'll see if we find a suitable excuse to travel like that eventually. We have not really. Yeah, sometimes I'll play in between streams and I'll do like some sort of like housekeeping, buying spells and items and stuff like that. All right, none of that has happened this time. I have not touched any video games except for the occasional Slay the Spire session. Oh yeah, and recording Morrowind content, which by the way, maybe I'm just bad at Morrowind. Like I don't play it as often. But it feels really difficult. Ironman Morrowind feels really difficult. Maybe it's because my character's like level 1, and I haven't really gotten a chance to shine with him yet. But yeah, it's really hard. It's really hard to stay alive. I generally know a bit about picking my battles in Morrowind and knowing which enemies to avoid and stuff like that. But we really take for granted in Daggerfall how easy it is to run away. Whereas in Morrowind, like the enemies are like, it's more realistic. They can catch up with you and swing their sword at you and hit you and stun lock you and then move in, and then if they have buddies, you know, Lord help you. Oh man, I kind of hate these foggy days. What does this say? No, I don't want to deal with this. Yeah, so I've been having a kind of hard time keeping characters alive in Morrowind. That said, I've only been at like level 1, so it's not that big of a deal. So I have not really, Silvera, about Tamriel Rebuilt. I have the mods installed, but I haven't gotten to that actually exploring that content yet. My dream is to have like a decently leveled character in one of these Morrowind playthroughs, who can go there and explore it while I'm playing it for the first time. One thing that games like Morrowind and Oblivion suffer from is like I've seen most of the content and I know what to expect. It's not procedurally generated, which some people think is fine, but like that's points against it for me sometimes because you'll see me in the first couple episodes like I'm struggling to figure out how to not metagame because like I know how to get this to get rich doing this and things. Anyway, my point is I would like to play that Tamriel rebuild content blind. I'm looking forward to doing that eventually. I haven't touched the difficulty slider. I'm too scared of the game. Like I want to play. If I'm playing the game like in its default settings with my roleplay restrictions, I think that'll be difficult enough for me. And I tend to avoid certain cheeses, and by cheeses I mean like I don't want to use Sujamma to get through every fight, stuff like that. Yeah, so we'll see how it goes. If I kill Dagoth and maybe like the Tribunal, I don't know if I want to do the Tribunal and stuff like that, but if I kill Dagoth successfully and I don't have that terrible of a time with it, then we'll think about kicking the difficulty up some. But I'm not worried about that right now. Yeah. I'm just getting caught up on chat some there, but I should just be playing the game at least until we get onto a road. Yeah, playing without the cheese in Morrowind makes it a lot more difficult. Honestly, now I'm guessing this was just rushed development, because that's what kills a lot of Bethesda's game. Not kills them, but makes them so unique, you could say. But Sujamma giving you 50 points of strength, like yeah, you can't pass spells. BFD, man, like you're killing everything in a couple of hits. Like it's so funny that you can kill like the immortal god king of the land by going up and drinking a bunch of Sujamma and swinging your hammer at him. Like it's ridiculous. So by the way, just to get you familiarized here, we're going back to this dungeon that's to the north. I'm pretty worried about it. The last time we were here, according to my notes, it's the Citadel of Glaldem. It has humans, Nightblades. We encountered a Nightblade and then ran away. I remember now. And that Nightblade almost dropped us in one attack. So I'm a little bit worried. Oh no. Dude. Man, I might... Jeez. We ended up in the water. Would y'all think too ill of me if I reload the game for fast traveling into some water? Because we might just die to this. I hope it doesn't come to that, but we're going to have to pull over and rest for a bit. It's just, I love climates and calories. I love travel options. But this specific interaction is like killer. It's actually killer. This could kill my character because, and it's, I would consider reloading for this just because no person in their right mind would drive their horse and cart into the ocean. You know what I mean? Or a bay. Yeah, that's dumb. I'm not reloading it this time, but I'm just giving you a heads up. Okay. Now we are inviting danger. Okay, it's just a wolf. Not a big deal. This is actually sort of beneficial to fight the wolf here. Because we can get some rations to take into the dungeon with us. Not some rations, but some food. Alright. Moldy raw meat is not great for us. I think we have to cook first. Oh, so another thing about Morrowind, I've been playing with devilish needs. Like in the first episode, I really struggled to figure out how to use it, okay? And then after that, let me quick save. After that, I got kind of used to it. I'm cooking food, and it's really cute and fun and stuff like that. The devilish needs is a survival mod. It's for Open MW, which is what I play on. But whenever I'm crafting and things like that... dude, where the hell did my horse go? You still got my wagon? Dude. I fell through the map, and I lost my wagon because of it. Shoot, man. All right, y'all forgive me. I'm oh, it's a quick save. It's a quick save. It's a quick save. It's just I thought that was gonna be way back there, and let's go down to 10 and hope we don't fall through the map, because we straight up had our we have that mod that prevents us from falling through the map. Like it positions us back onto the road whenever we're using travel options, but apparently our wagon did not get repositioned. Jeez Louise. Ironman is over. Ironman is washed up, man. There's a fine line between being a stickler for your own Ironman rules and like enjoying the game you're playing. So, yeah, bear with me there if you can. Okay, enemies seek to prevent our travel. What we got? What we got? What we got? Now, weren't there some like fierce orcs the last time we were here? Okay, it doesn't look like orcs this time. Hey, Pinrider, what's up, man? Good to see you. Okay, we're going to go into dialogue mode. Actually, let's get out our... Man, we were practicing our archery some, but it's still pathetic, like 8%. That's all the more reason to shoot a couple arrows their way, though. Because it probably won't take long for us to get a little level up queued. Man, this is actually... The fog is making this part kind of difficult. Okay, now I'm guessing this is the type of enemy that I cannot persuade. Oh, I can. We pacified a warrior. That's good. Follow me. Scoffs at me. Alright, well, let's go try to get these other... Because if she's a warrior, then these others are probably warriors. Now, what's really cool about this fog of war is like the trees and the rocks around us do kind of... It's hard to tell who's an enemy and who's a rock in the distance, you know what I mean? So that's kind of cool. Alright, lady. Follow me? Yo, warrior joins the party. I'm so pumped. Okay. What is your name? Jubilee. Come on, Jubilee. Morrowind humor. Alright, I like that we have a meat cushion with us. Now, I don't want to treat her like that necessarily, but we also don't have the heal other spells that this character would benefit from. Oh. Hey, Rory, what's up? Wagon rescue and console lets you bring your... Really, really? My goodness. Let me jot that down in my list of notes, because I don't want to reload if I don't have to. That's sick. Thank you. I wish I could convince this lady to go into the dungeon with us. Okay, so how much does tongues cost? Tongues cost 39, and we're going to have reduced spell points by like increased magery, forbidden. I think that the amount of spell points I'm going to be using by casting tongues right now would be close to the amount of max magicka I'm going to take a penalty for by going into the darkness. So I'm going to cast tongues and try again. Oh, I can't. Oh, dang. What is your name? Do you have anything for sale? I mean, we could buy an arrow. Sure. Silver mace is cool. Steel queries, we can't equip that. Alright. Let's get in there while we have tongues active. I should have checked to see if we had the prompt before going into tongues. But in some situations, it's kind of scary. In some games like this, you can like re-roll these things that you've rolled for if your ability improves. And so my rationale there was improve our chance to persuade and then try the follow me again. All right. I wonder if this actually was the dungeon where we fought the Nightblade, because didn't we just like... I thought we were kind of going to town in this dungeon. Oh, here's a torch that's lit. That means that we should have a humanoid nearby to talk to. Now, we specialize in talking to... oh, etiquette. Oh, we pacified a rogue. Hey, man. You want to follow me? Sneers at me. Okay, let's mark that we have a pacified rogue here. Kite enemies that way if we need to. Yeah, I think the arrow cost me 600. I don't know. I just thought it was a cute thing to like. It was probably the arrow that I shot at her before pacifying her that I pulled out of her wound for 2 gold. Oh hey, dude. Look at that. Look at that 72 personality carrying. All right. Still, she's sneering at me, but she's not fighting me. I had on my wish list this year. You know, my family always asks for. I should say my wife's family, but I guess they're the same thing. They always ask for like an Amazon wish list around the holiday season or around birthdays and stuff. Anyway, my sister-in-law bought me a new keyboard. And it's a mechanical keyboard that has silent keys. Really, really nice. Or a silent switch, I should say. Because previously I had this really, really crappy, like I would say like a budget entry-level keyboard. But that doesn't do justice to just how terrible the keyboard was. It was so loud that like whenever I was on work calls, if I was trying to type while listening to the meeting, like I could not hear them. I had to stop what I was doing to listen more closely and stuff. And whenever I would play video games while I'm like recording or streaming or something, I would switch to this wireless Logitech, and it was not backlit keys, just like a piece of plastic sort of thing. Anyway, it feels really good to have a backlit keyboard that I'm playing in like a semi-lit room, playing the goated game of all time, and I'm not worried about my like keyboard being picked up on the mic too much. If you do hear it, it's just like a small amount, I think. Do we start collecting? I mean, that's honestly the value on those ingredients was not that bad. Sometimes I wish I had the wherewithal to build an RPG from the ground up, and I would do things like have a passive appraisal skill that is always going on whenever you're looking through loot. Because, like, why does my character know that werewolf blood is worth 25 gold pieces, you know, or ichor is worth 20 gold pieces? It'd be cool to have like a sort of appraisal check that happens whenever you're finding that stuff. Okay, don't poison me, bro. Okay, get him. Get him, Jubilee. Yeah, I feel much safer having a different person with us. Hey, we're cool, right? I thought that maybe my cleave, like, made her hostile. No, I would normally like my super loud clickety-clackety keys. I think if it were a keyboard of higher quality in general, but this thing was just a pain to use. The only reason I kept using it is that it was like marginally better than the piece of garbage Logitech that I was using. Okay, now this guy's gonna scare me some. Oh, but he hit my buddy. Yeah, this is the Nightblade. I want him to use his spell points on my buddy. Oh, that wasn't that bad. That wasn't bad. It's just like sometimes enemy spells will drop you. Yo, we got 2 books. That's pretty good loot. I like the color of this skirt. Just, some fashion scrolls happening. Okay, she's kind of scary as well. Yeah, that's... She feels like who could have messed me up. I guess she was just like a female version of the last enemy we fought, but still, very scary. We got our 3rd book, though. I guess Nightblades are good targets if they're always carrying books, or if they're more likely to carry books. That's pretty sweet. Uh, this might be a good rest area. We're not here on a quest or anything like that, so we're only limited by the amount of rations we have. Um, Jubilee, do you mind if I set up camp here? By the way, did I find the prayer beads on stream or while I was doing housework, like bookkeeping? I love that my religious character has some prayer beads to carry around with her. If I had that Mara mantra or mantra, oh, hold on, etiquette, streetwise, stealth, running, mysticism, blunt weapon, what a level up. I'm going to go ahead and pack that up because I always regret leaving it, I feel like. Yeah, if I had that mantra with me somehow, we could read the mantra whenever we're resting like this. I got to knock on wood before saying something like this, but I'm glad to have found a... Oh, hold on. Glad to have found a dungeon that feels doable. You know, I haven't found any werewolves or Daedra or anything like that. Oh no, did he... Hold on. Oh, this is my buddy. Okay. I thought my buddy got, like, kicked off of the roof here. Kicked off the ledge. I don't remember the name of the mod author for Language Skills Overhaul, but doing pathing for situations like this where you're reckoning with these steep ledges and having them not die and stay next to you, like, I'm sure that was a lot trickier to work out than what we might give them credit for. All right, man, I want to like do little fist bumps or something like that. We really have like a little girl power squad going on here. So I got some goodies for Christmas, but what's more exciting is that my son got a lot of cool gifts, and you know, whenever he gets cool gifts, it benefits me because I'm playing with him all the time. You know what I mean? So today, I should back up. On Christmas Day, he got this like a set of foam swords and foam shields. All right, so one sword and shield for him, and one sword and shield for whoever he's playing with, I guess. But yeah, today while my wife was cooking dinner, my son and I both had a sword and shield each, and we were like fighting imaginary goblins and things like that. But we were also mixing in some lore from his, you know, kids these days. They're really into this show called Paw Patrol. Now, we don't have a Netflix subscription, so he can't really watch it ad nauseum because it's kind of crack cocaine for children. But he knows the characters and he likes the characters, and so we were like saving Paw Patrol characters while fighting goblins and things like that. It was kind of fun. But he also got another. He added to his collection of head injuries today. It really was kind of a. I don't know. Today was off. I was not sure if I was gonna stream at all because of the head injury thing. Because basically, back on September 10th, he fell down while in the bathroom when he cracked the back of his head open. Right, started bleeding profusely and scaring the pants off of all of us, and I was terrified. It's one of the worst days of my life. We went to the ER. I locked my keys in the car at a critical moment and it made things even worse. I'm not telling the full story here, but I'm leaving, I guess, including the embarrassing stuff. Hey, we pacified the Nightblade. Follow me. Okay. He's in the way, but I can ask him to move. Excuse me. Oh, that just removes his collision or something. Anyway, I was minding my own business, and apparently Hudson fell down and hurt his head again, and this fall was not so drastic, but he landed right on the old wound that he'd gotten hit by before, and it reopened it, and we went to the ER again. So that was not the best Monday in the world. Shout out Garfield. I was not really sure if I was up to stream after all that, but I was like, well, it would be really good for my morale to do something relaxing, and he was fine. Oh no, my buddy. He was pretty much fine later on during the day. Bread. Yeah, my buddy fell down in battle. I'm sorry about that. Commend her soul to Aetherius and all that. Steelright Pauldron could be pretty way down. You know, if we had a mind to, and probably if I weren't streaming, I could take some of this stuff to the cart whenever I get too much. But I don't want to do all that tedious stuff on stream. Yeah, he ended up being okay. He got 3 staples in the back of the head to close up that wound again. Now that was probably the height of my misery today, was watching my kid get staples in the back of his head. That was not pleasant, as it turns out. Not something you want to see. Okay. We're going to try to do this. Put the weapon away. Okay, but we have a pacified Nightblade this way. Yeah, and as predicted, all my morning routine stuff went to got killed. Oh, where'd my Nightblade go? Man. Wait, is my Nightblade over here? I think she might be fighting my Chameleon Nightblade buddy over here. It's kind of cool. Yo, 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 yo. That's not necessary, guys. Gals. Come on, pick it up. Oh, let's remember that our health is low and that we have things to remedy that. I hear conflict. They must have found one of my pacified buddies. Oh no, I heard another door open. Okay. I think we still have room for healing here. Come on. Be impressed by my Streetwise. Streetwise good. Okay, here we go. Come on. Come on. Okay, more bandages. Okay. And we got rewarded by some books again. We are slowly rebuilding a critical mass of Dosh mass. And we found a very cozy room to rest in over here, assuming we don't have enemies to contend with. Yeah, we can rest here. Whew. Okay, Streetwise, stealth, climbing, backstabbing, critical strike. Yeah, somehow the idea of the staples seems kind of barbaric, but I guess it's more efficient than using stitches. Here's the thing, though. It's like you can't completely baby-proof. I was asking that to my wife. I'm like, is there a way that we can baby-proof even harder to make this, like, not possible? But we would have to, like, put foam down on the tile in our room. Like, what he banged his head on was the, what do you call it? Like, the trim, the baseboards at the floor of his room. And he was doing something that we tell him not to do all the time. I wasn't actually there whenever it happened, so I don't know. Like, I get this sort of, what do you call it? Like, if I could have been there, I could have helped. But even the first time that he hurt his head, I was there. And, like, he was still just out of reach, such that I couldn't save him in time. Maybe it's like a God complex thing where I think I can always fix it. But that's just not the case. And humans suffer once in a while. And I just got to kind of be okay with that. Man, with all this steel loot that we're getting, I do kind of want to make a trip to the wagon. Because it's like a steel, that's an iron flail. That's not really worth it. Like, we have a wagon. We're just going to have to make the most of it. Did I already check this loot pile? I guess not. Yeah, I guess we could make him a bubble boy. I mean, I like that movie as much as the next guy. Now, there should be a Nightblade around here. Oh, yo, we got a little appetite. I don't know. We got a gem, though. That's pretty good. Another book. Oh, that's my buddy. Yo, I forgot to mark you on the map. Pacified Nightblade. Okay, let's see if I can find some chalk. Chalk says go this way. Is chalk correct? Chalk pointed me to a 3-way intersection. Really 2-way. Okay, but it's not this way, so it's got to be this way. I hope that chalk was correct. Oh no, no! My chalk is not working correctly. Unless I have to go this way. Oh, okay, okay, okay. I just gotta. I just gotta do better. This chalk was misinformation, I think. Oh, didn't mean to cast a spell there. Probably not gonna be very consequential. Yeah, we go up here now, right? Oh, I can access my wagon without actually walking to it. That's pretty cool. Okay, that's not quite as tedious as I was expecting. Let's put up these books. And some of these ingredients. And we're still pretty heavy, but that's okay. We have a lot more maneuverability. All right. So I took a week off of work. I took a week off of my morning routines, and I'm kind of in the mood to get started with calisthenics again. I used to be doing like an almost completely calisthenics routine, but I have some dumbbells, so I was like, oh, let's just add dumbbells back into the routine. It's not a big deal. It's good to have resistance for some exercise and things like that. But I want to get back into like trying things like incorporating handstands and other poses into a workout routine, right? I actually need to come up with something to try tomorrow by the end of the night, basically. But anyway, what I'm trying to get at is, by the way, a little chalk. We're gonna run out of chalk soon, but that's okay. It's like I realize that I stay up a little bit too late. I really wish I could start my stream at 8 p.m. and then go until 10 p.m. Like that would feel like a sweet spot where I've like done enough with my day and I can kind of unwind away from the blue screen or the blue light for a while. I don't know how y'all balance, or if you choose to balance things like fitness, video games, and sleep. But lately I've not been prioritizing my sleep at all. Yo, Nightblade joins the party. What is your name? Callista. What was that? I was thinking of Callisto. Alright. We got a scarab. Yeah, I have not been prioritizing sleep, my sleep health at all. And I guess why this came to mind is I was watching a really popular calisthenics channel. It's called The Yellow Dude. He has like over 1 million subscribers. It's largely animated, which, you know, that always makes it very appealing. But he's like, yeah, if you're not sleeping 7 to 9 hours each night, your muscles aren't getting like optimal growth. And I'm like, that sounds so unrealistic. But at the same time, I do make a lot of like poor choices just for like, you know, pleasure and staying up late and stuff like that. And lately I've been going until like 11 p.m. and I end up with a stream that's like 2 hours and 15 minutes. I'm thinking of cutting it at 10:30 tonight, which I hope will still be enough of a dose of Daggerfall for me. But yeah, kind of struggling to balance those things. Oh, dude. Some hot Nightblade on Nightblade action here. Come on. Come on. Oh, I got him. Okay, he sneers, though. That's alright. Honestly, 22 seems a little bit young for Daggerfall enjoyers, but I don't know. I guess 22 and 30 aren't really that far apart in the grand scheme of things, but I sort of toe the line between millennial and Gen Z, whereas 22 is decidedly Gen Z territory. I think I'm more millennial in my temperament. I don't keep up with meme humor very well. All right, come on. Like, remember the other day, someone was having to explain to me how 6-7 works? I'm with it, though. I'm up to date, all right? I went to Dairy Queen with my mom after church one day, and she paid with, like, a $100 bill, and the the total was like $34, and the person was like, "Your change is 67," and she was like trying to keep a straight face. Like, I got it. I knew what the deal was. Thanks, chat. Okay. Need my Nightblade buddy to take some hits for me. Alright, well, he took some hits for me. Can't fault him there. Let's get some bandages going here. Too bad the enemies don't have bandages. There we go. See, this is what happens whenever you have a wagon. You're constantly cutting a rut back to the entrance. But honest, it'll pay off. More prayer beads. I think I'll let you keep those, because I don't need a duplicate. This magic sword of restore fatigue, it seems like it's not going to be very helpful all the time, but I can imagine moments in a pinch where it's going to really save us. Probably not in a dungeon. I imagine the restore fatigue will help us out whenever we are like doing overland travel and we find ourselves in a pickle, like whenever we got thrown into that lake just a moment ago. Oh, dude. Okay, it's not great loot, but it is loot. This is a pretty cool looking chest. All the torches are already lit. I jammed the lock. Great. I mean, maybe I go for it. You smash a hole into the body of the chest, granting access to the contents. Really, an elven light flail, and this is an elven flail. 5 to 17, 411. I guess the light flail will just be faster. 4 kilograms, 7 kilograms. Let's get a feel for it. Oh, is it one-handed and I can equip a shield? Dude. Yo, that's really cool. Oh, this is pretty sweet. Also, I don't get to use Rory's shield widget often enough, so this could be a reason to. And honestly, prioritizing a one-handed weapon that lets me use a shield over the two-handed weapon in an Ironman playstyle seems pretty good. But now the maximum damage difference, it goes from 5 to 17 that I've been using to 4 to 11. So the maximum damage does decline pretty hard there. I'm going to keep using my two-handed weapon, and then if we find like a really good shield, because that one was not very strong. If we find a really good shield, we'll switch over to the one-handed weapon. That's pretty cool. I've never seen that weapon type, or I've never paid attention to it. Alright, have y'all had enough of this dungeon? I'm getting the vibe like we should go do some questing, you know what I mean? How y'all feel? Is there anywhere else around here I really want to check out? Nah, I'm gonna go do some questing. You know, it's ironic, Steven, though, is like, while you might feel old... whoa. Oh, I forgot how this dungeon works. Just utter blackness enveloping me kind of scared me. I've heard from others that 30s is like where you kind of hit your stride. I left my wagon at the entrance. Is it cheesy to use wagon rescue at a time like this? I would have liked my horse to have not disconnected itself from the wagon before approaching me. I'm just going to wagon rescue it up. Shout out Red Rory. Oops. I gotta spell it correctly. Thanks for the tip there. Yeah, it seems goofy to me that the horse would have come detached from the cart. So I'm just going to cheese it up a little bit there. Hey, what's up, Chow? and Justinus. I'm not sure why Daggerfall streams are so cozy. I think it's because Daggerfall is so cozy. And it's not a very, how do you describe it? It's not a very stimulating game, necessarily, you know what I mean? Like, there's not a lot of bright flashing lights and a bunch of stuff to pay attention to. You're going to town, or you're looking out for enemies in the dungeon. Yeah, Justinus, we went to that dungeon because I like dungeons, and it was really just a place to test our mettle, to fight some enemies and get some loot, and it actually worked out pretty well. So we're going to go to Failures General Aegis up here, or Aegis. What's y'all's take on this word? Hold on. I'm using all the wrong buttons here. On Failures General Aegis. Aegis? Aegis? I need to see the spelling in Greek, I guess, to... I'm guessing Aegis is closer to how it's pronounced, because I don't know if they have the same J sound in, like, Greek. I'm almost certain they don't. They have the delta. If you put the delta next to, like, a zh, but they don't have a zh, do they? Anyway, it's probably Aegis. My first encounter with this word, Aegis, was from reading Greek mythology, and then I played Persona 3, and there was an Aegis there as well. Alright, let's pick up our pieces of armor that we're going to sell. We don't necessarily want to sell the fur. We want to hold on to that for real. Questionable include on that joke. Okay. Cannot carry anymore. Let's go ahead and oh. I found someone's house instead of the shop, but this is really... I like this song. Okay. I just clicked on the wrong one. Yeah. It should be locked right now, I think. No, it's open. It's all Greek to me. Aegis, as far as you know. That's one I hadn't considered. Yeah, so before Aegis was the name of the Persona 3 character, like, her name is inspired, I'm sure, by the Greek mythology of, like, the Aegis being the shield of Athena, and she's like the shield of the anime Jesus from Persona 3. You know, she's all about protecting him, I think. I like Persona 3. I like Persona 3 and 4 a lot. I wish I had the wherewithal to play Persona 1 and 2. I have not really gotten very far in Persona 1. But I like the music. I like the atmosphere. I don't know why I don't really enjoy, like, why I don't keep up with it. I think I have to, like, turn a certain corner. With some older games, you have to sort of turn a corner. Like, you play for it a while you're, like, learning how to interact with it and what the game wants from you. And then once you get far enough into it, it's much more pleasant. I think I never got to that point in Persona 1. I also got the English port of Persona 1. I really don't like the English port of Persona 1. It turns one of the Japanese kids into a black kid, and they say dollars instead of yen. And I'm like, we don't have to pretend like Persona takes place in America. Like, the rest of the game does not make sense as, like, something that should exist in America. We don't, like, you know what I mean? It just doesn't make sense to me. Our culture is completely different, except that we're both, like, kind of a consumer culture, but still, it just, that part didn't make sense to me. Now, Persona 4 will always be one of my favorite games. It really built on the formula that was established in Persona 3 with, like, the social links and the somewhat procedurally generated dungeon construction and stuff like that. I think they did that all really well. And the music in it is my favorite. I have very fond memories of playing Persona 4 during my college years. And eventually, whenever I met my wife, I got her to play it on my PS2. And it was a lot of fun. In both situations, like, I would often play Persona games with a friend, whether it was my roommate in college or my wife, or I guess she was my girlfriend at the time. But they let me have a large a large role in the fusion elements of it. Like, I love the fusion elements of those games. I mean, my favorite's got to be, I mean, Persona 4 is great, but I really, really like Shin Megami Tensei as well. Now, as far as whether a good boy Orthodox Christian should be playing these devil summoning games, that's debatable. How much cognitive dissonance can you allow for yourself? But I love Shin Megami Tensei 1. I love Shin Megami Tensei 2. I love Kyoyaku Megami Tensei. Persona games are great, but like, have you seen the cover art for Shin Megami Tensei? Hold on. This is probably not really worth pulling over to pull up, but I'm gonna do it anyway. Hold on. This is weird. I went to a weird website to get. Anyway, I'm not pulling over for it. It's not worth the delay. Anyway, the cover art for Shin Megami Tensei, the first game. You've got this dude with like a cybernetic like neural interface and a machine gun and a sword, and his buddies are casting spells, and one of them has like a Spaz 12 shotgun, and there's a heroine lady who has really good healing magic, who also has like an SMG or a machine gun. Like the aesthetics. The aesthetics are like unparalleled, man. I'm telling you, old school Shin Megami Tensei is such soul. I know the encounter rates are high. I know that it gets repetitive. I know it all. It doesn't change a thing. Man, I love those games. Yeah, so Lochnar, I'm not. I've been holding my tongue seeing this conversation going on, but what you're describing there is exactly why I have a very hard time respecting one of my fellow old school Elder Scrolls enjoyers. I'm sure he makes a ton of money with his channel, and he does a really great job of like onboarding people into these games, better than I could do. But my goodness, like, I know they bribe him to wear that in a way, but is the cringe worth it? Like, what happened to dignity? Before I, I'm trying to not get into that too much. I've said my piece. We're about to buy our compass. Yo, boom, 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 boom. It's such a milestone. Got the compass here, man. All right. So you might notice that I emphasize the aw sound in compass. It's because if I say compass, it sounds like an invitation to go urinate. You know what I mean? We got a pretty good payout from all those night blades. We got leet gold. It's pretty sick. All right, yeah, I want to go back to the House of Dibella. Now there will come a point where you see, I want to craft some spells that will allow us to keep our recruited people alive a bit longer. But we're not in the Mages Guild. I don't foresee us joining the Mages Guild because we have, isn't this just the one? We have Mysticism and Restoration. I really want like a heal other on touch spell, but I don't know if that's something that we can buy. Does anybody here know off the top of your head if you're able to like buy a heal other spell? I feel like that's something that you have to craft. Oh yeah, David, the theme, the bit with hold on, is Ambassador Thorman, who is actually Thor and the Law Champion who brings destruction on the city to stop the devils from swarming the world. Yeah. That's the section of Shin Megami Tensei 1 where things get really Shin Megami Tensei-y. And you transition from this near-apocalyptic world to the post-apocalyptic world so beautifully. I've talked about Ammomancy a couple of times on this stream, I guess. It's like my urban fantasy or modern fantasy system that was like a homebrew of 5th edition Dungeons and Dragons that I'm still kind of would like to recreate for OSE sort of gaming. But anyway, Ammomancy was so heavily inspired by Shin Megami Tensei like that I feel like I should, if I ever publish it or get around to finishing it really, I would need to give some credits to them. Like Shin Megami Tensei was such an influence, as well as stuff like Kill Bill. Because I saw Uma Thurman with a katana on her back and a handgun, and I'm like, that's awesome. That needs to be in a role-playing game. What else inspired Amomancy? Stuff like Big Trouble in Little China. But yeah, Shin Megami Tensei, man. It just peak vibes right there. All right. Yeah. Yeah, just... That's why I say compass instead of compass. It just sounds... I can't unhear it. They're inviting someone to go pee, you know? It's so weird. Acolyte, regardless of your past accomplishments and all your history, all must carry their weight in this temple. Will you take some of our teachings to a potential convert in Dumunator? Big old drink of water. I don't want to do this quest. You have no interest in all your duties. Well, make your duties more interesting for my chat, lady. Among the many responsibilities we discharge, such as curing the sick and flooring the living dead, we have some duty towards the mundane matters. I should likely ask how eloquent your speech is. Okay. We have one Logum, who arrived earlier today requesting help in saving his marriage. This will require a linguist, not a warlord, and it must be done today. Yeah, I'll try. Okay, I'll call for him now. Just tell them whatever will keep them together as a couple and trying. Agreed? Whatever your own thoughts are, do our work. Vichfa calls out to Logam. The man enters after a moment. Oh, thank you for spending this time with us. I don't know how much anyone can do, but maybe you'll be the one to figure us out. We live in the Harthley residence here in town. I'll follow you there. We can talk to my wife, Mauchki. All right. We're going to the Harthley residence to save this guy's marriage. All right. This could be interesting. We have etiquette. We don't have streetwise, but we have a pretty good etiquette skill. Hey, you don't mind? Your wife doesn't mind if you ride a horse with another lady, do that? Maybe we shouldn't. But I want to get there faster, so we're gonna have to. Yeah, flooring the living dead was a great turn of phrase. I'm guessing that was Cliffworm's doing. Maybe Jehudi or JH came up with it. But yeah, that was a good one. Alright, any Shin Megami Tensei enjoyers want to share what their favorite demon is from the series? Because I'm very biased toward one who is only featured in one game. If you have a second, look up Terminator from Shin Megami Tensei 2. Alright, it's this like angel who's cybernetic and flying around with a machine gun in one hand and a shotgun in the other, and it has nothing to do with the Arnold Schwarzenegger movie Terminator. You know, it's so cool. I love Terminator. Why didn't Terminator show up in more games? That was such an awesome design. It's funny how some of my sensibilities are still 12 years old, you know, because it's such a goofy design. Hold on. Gear Mikala, is that the elephant thing that has like reflect usually? Oh yeah, his reflect physical. Yeah. Yeah, that one's awesome. I barely even remember my favorites like abilities. I just love the design of Terminator. Okay, we're looking for, yeah, this should work. Southeast of here. Yeah, unfortunately I don't get to, I never played much Law in those games. This might come as a surprise to those of you who have heard our religious discussions on this channel, but what got me interested in playing Shin Megami Tensei was that I heard that in Shin Megami Tensei 2 you get to kill God, like you fight Yahweh as the final boss. I hope that's not too much of a spoiler for anyone, but I was like an angsty atheist at that time. I thought, man, that's so cool. And I think this is just a thing that happens a lot in like Japanese games where you end up like in a situation where you're fighting God for whatever reason. I thought that was the coolest thing ever, and now it makes me not want to play the games. By the way, look at the juxtaposition here. The people that are having like marriage trouble are right next to the House of Dibella. It makes me wonder if old boy is slipping to the temple to get some of that temple prostitute action. Okay, you're Klufka. I'm looking for this guy's wife whose name starts with an M. She'll probably be a lady in green, or maybe in the blue cloak. Okay. There she is. Logan smiles weakly at his wife. Hello, sweetheart. I've brought a temple worker to try to help us to find some more peace. Her eyes flare up and both hands curl into fists. Don't you sweetheart me, acting nice in front of a complete stranger. That is just like you. Why don't you ask her what the temple does to people who cheat on their spouse with the locals of the Feather and Hedgehog? This clearly was not a simple case. Several minutes pass by in bickering before you can so much as say a word. As you open your mouth, Maujki turns to you and asks, well, why don't we have a discussion then? If we're going to take up your valuable time with our problems, we should at least involve you. Tell me, do you think a man who spends 5 nights a week at the tavern is fulfilling his responsibilities as a husband? So the quest objective is to keep them together. So if I say yes to this, I'm going to anger her. If I say no to this, I might anger him. But no sounds like the truth. Like, you don't want to be out drinking all the time whenever you could be there with your wife or your family. Logan looks at the two of you. I feel like this is like a sort of down with the patriarchy moment whenever you got two women conspiring against the man. That's not how I'm trying to make it, all right? Logan looks at the two with you with some grief. Honey, no one's arguing otherwise. I know I'm falling short. I just feel miserable coming home every night to more fighting. That's why I go. Maujki turns to you. Well then, temple worker, what do you say? Do I need to calm down instead of showing him why he's wrong? Yes. She looks bothered by your answer. She then asks another question. He's failed in his marital responsibilities. He married me for my money, and now he's spending it all. Don't I have the right to resent him for that? Whoa. We should try to... You see, like, this is what happens, I think, in many marriages whenever no party wants to compromise at all, and they're, like, actually focused on their own resentment, and there's no idea of, like, change or transfiguration or love, really, at all. Alright, don't I have a right to resent him for that? No, you married him. Logan, now somber, interjects. Honey, you knew this was about me before we were married. You knew this about me before we were married. I asked you to be patient with me. Why can't you give me more time? Okay, that's kind of weak. His wife looked at him with disgust. It's been 7 years now. 7 years. You're still the same as ever. A man has to live up to his promises, doesn't he? Yeah, that's a long time to be like... telling a woman directly to calm down. It's always been the thing to do. It's been 7 years. 7 years till he does. A man has to live to his promises. Yeah, you should be changing after 7 years. You don't have to be like this much of a man-child all this time. Wow, look at this wall. You attempt to explain that whatever their difficulties, they would be happier trying to improve individually instead of dwelling on the defects of the other. They both listen thoughtfully, but as soon as their gazes meet, they return to baser thoughts. The argument goes back and forth for a few minutes. Logan says, if I promise to give up mead today and return to my father's work, will you at least give me a chance? Maujki rolls her eyes. Is there some reason you're making this proposal in front of a stranger, but not when it's just you and me? Where was this last year, or 7 years ago? Logan looks at you earnestly. Then let this wood elf be a witness of my promise. If I fail, you can go to Vichva of this. You can tell Vichva of this incident as a testimony, and I'll accept whatever consequences you decide to meet me out. Isn't that a fair proposal, friend? This sounds like a good quest is going a good direction, but I don't know what my yes and no buttons do here. If I fail, you can go tell Vichva of this incident as a testimony. I think I just say yes, right? Like I found a decent resolution here. Etiquette check passed. All right. You continue along in this vein for some time, trying to show them that their vicious cycle will lead to nothing good. Little by little, they both begin to listen conscientiously. When you're finished, They exchange glances, and one of them speaks. What elf? We cannot thank you enough. We still have a long way to go, but we can see things a little better now. Send Vichva our regards. Take the fee we promised to pay. Julianos bless you for your... Hey, Debella bless... It's whatever. They can pray to whoever they want to. That was a very, like, well-written marriage spat. I feel like the author has... Whoever... Because this has to be a mod author, right? I'm just now noticing that my desktop audio is super low. Let me try to fix that in case you're not hearing the music. I feel like the mod author might have some hands-on experience either from their own relationships or from their parents or from literature or something like that. But that was pretty nice. The whole bit about, wow, this is good gold for a temple quest. But yeah, that was pretty... The bit about improving yourself instead of focusing on the defects of the others. Like, that's honestly... I think that applies to so many areas of life. Because the more you focus on other people's shortcomings instead of your own, you will be bitter and resentful and miserable. And that applies not just to, like, your interpersonal relationships, but whenever you criticize... Now, the U.S. never really has competent politicians, but whenever you start criticizing this politician and that politician, instead of, like, thinking about how you can improve your day-to-day life, if you focus on that and that's, like, your only interest, you're gonna be, like, upset all the time, and it's preventable. Yeah. That was a nice quest. Yeah, I only just now looked at my audio levels. I turned it down whenever the desktop audio, whenever the stream started, because I thought it was too loud, but that's my bad. Not super worried about it, but we got an improvement here. Now, we failed to meet Brisciena in time, but we have this letter from Morgaia. Do you think if we sailed to Morgaia, she would still give us a quest? Or did we just completely hose the main quest, you know what I mean? She would send us to Dragontail Mountains. We're not really equipped for that. I think we have 2 formal cloaks and some rations. It would burn through all of our money immediately to go to Dragontail Mountains. Like, the cost of traveling is exuberant. Excuse me. Let's see. How about we do a little bit of shopping? Yeah, I'm pretty sure I pretty much hosed the main quest as well. Morgia. Maybe. Hey, what's up, Freakanoid? Better late than never. Let's take a moment while we have some money. It's honestly not a lot, but it's weighing me down. Now, I could start a bank account. Hey, wouldn't that be kind of cute if we are the people, like, putting money into the bank instead of getting loans that we don't repay? That could be cute. Let's use just our horse. We could just deposit this money, and then we're not worried about it weighing us down. And we're going to be in Tygonis, like, for the foreseeable future, right? We could also donate it to the temple, but that would be, like, the pious thing to do. But I do want... like, I want this money, and we have a backlog of reputation. Like, they have not promoted us, and we have a reputation that's pretty much due. Let's go back to the Aegis thing. Alright, first we talked about the pronunciation of Aegis, and now we're on the pronunciation of Morgia. Yeah, about the end goal, I think we have a couple of reasonable end goals for this character, alright? We got summoning Meridia and doing her quest would be really cool. That basically means that we need to be a really high rank in the temple. Also, buying a house in Tygonis, especially if it's in one of those little towns where there's just a... It's one of the blue dots on the map where it's just a temple and a few houses. If I were to buy a house in one of those regions, that would be really, really cool. It's not likely that we find one for sale like that, but that's something to keep an eye out for nonetheless. Let's see what we have to buy here. specifically a shield. Now, are we able to use tower shields? Forbidden armor type plate, forbidden material Daedric. Okay, we are not necessarily forbidden from using a tower shield. I'm kind of interested. It's a steel tower shield, 15 kilograms. Man, shields are heavy. Okay, man, what do I do here? Do I just stay content with being heavy all the time? It's not that expensive, right? Maybe we buy it and we keep it in our wagon, because this looks awesome. Hold on, where's my light flail? Where is my super flail? Oh, it's all the way back in the wagon. No, not traveling there. Okay, that's north. This is south. Gaming. Oh, Cosmi, my friend. We found a cool weapon while we were in that dungeon. It's like a one-handed flail that I think was incorporated from... That's not our wagon. Diverse weapons or something like that. Hold on. 10% donate, 30% bank, the rest supplies. You know, that's funny you should put it that way, Pinrider. That's oddly close to what I did with my... I got like a very small pay cut from YouTube the other day. And I gave like a lot to my church, and then like... I gave basically a third of it to my church and a third of it to an EFT, like an investment thing. And then basically paying off debt with the rest of it. But it's funny that you came to the very similar conclusion as what I did with my IRL funds. Say donating 10% of what I have right now. That's a good idea. That's 200. 30% for the bank. Okay, I like that. I like that, Pinrider. Thank you. Do I make donations here? Who would accept my donations? So that would mean... oh, she has a chest next to her. That's nice. Okay. I have 2,000, so 30% for the bank would be 600 gold. So let's give 200 here. Certainly, Goddess of Beauty accepts all donations, but do not expect miracles. That takes more than a pile of gold. Okay, I'm not trying to barter here. Although maybe in the pagan sort of faith I would. I don't know. I'm actually not sure if we have a bank in this town. Ranger's Paladin, very cool for a gimmick character. Man, did I miss your idea, Pinrider, or... I'm interested, but I think I'm... Here's the cool thing that I was trying to illustrate. Real quick. Before I scroll up and see. M3s, welcome back. Yeah, look at our setup here. It looks like we could use a repair on our thing here. But yeah, we can have this light flail, which is a one-handed weapon, along with our shield. And yeah, this feels really, really good to me. All right, yeah. So I think we will plan on keeping the main two-handed weapon as our thing, but we'll have this in the tank for like whenever we go to a dungeon and we really want to use it. By the way, we have not upgraded our short blade at all, Micah. I need to find some ways to get that worked in there. I'm so scared of combats not going well that I'm always hesitant to do that. Now we're still really heavy. Am I reading that right? Our speed's at 39? Goodness gracious. Is that because of climates and calories? Okay, my speed's at 52. It must have corrected itself after I dropped stuff off. Oh, right. Okay, yeah, the dividing of funds is really cool. Yeah, short blade would pair with the shield very well. What am I thinking here? We don't have a... Oh, yeah, I was going to ask a lady, a passerby. Look at this turn radius on this thing. Let's go ask a passerby if we have a bank in town. Oh, we do have a bank in town. Okay, well, we don't have to necessarily have it on our map because there are not many places where it could be. Oh, oops. We want to go to horse. Man, I love my new keyboard. It's called a Keychron K10 with silent switches. It feels so, so, so good. Love getting a shiny new thing that you've wanted for a year or two. Delaying that gratification pays off. I bet they're closed. The bank's always closed. Hey, we made it. Okay, so we said to put away about 30%, which I think is 600. So we're going to deposit 600. And yeah, it's good. I'm tempted to put in a bit more, but we could go buy potions and things like that. Yeah, let's buy potions and things like that. And, you know, matter of fact, I want to straight up fast travel to, well, I was thinking of fast traveling to the capital of Tygonis. We have not done some overland travel in very long, but honestly, overland travel with the cart, like, that sounds pretty bad. Hup. Alright, let's get our bearings here. Oh, you know, we're just going straight south. That's not bad. Okay, let's quick save, and let's go straight south. How do we tell which way straight south is? Whoa, boom! Whoa, boom! Love it, man. I love it. Longing for travel. Longing for some me time out here on the road. Oh, we can go to the Screaming... What's this? The Screaming Guard. Halt. The tavern's called the Screaming Guard. Halt. Yeah, just filling up our bellies some. It'd be cool if you could make a spell to summon your card instead of console commands. You got a theater of the mind that, but honestly, I think the summon cart, like, it's only gonna come up in a couple of situations. One, it fell through the ground and did not come back with us. Or two, we have a dungeon like we just saw where there are multiple entrances and only one is the true exit. You know what I mean? I feel like if I had popped out of the dungeon near where my stuff was, that would not have been necessary. So that was just kind of a Daggerfall thing. I'm not gonna lose sleep over it. I just realized I ate some venison pie and drank some beer with my compass out the whole time. I ain't putting my compass down for a damn thing. My compass, excuse me. Yeah, the crate item, is it knick-knack or something? Is that part of the default game? I feel like that was a mod. And I've never found a real use for it, although I'm sure there's something there. Alright, quick save. I mean, summoning arrows for yourself in a pinch is pretty cool. Okay, so going across the water shouldn't be a problem here because we found the bridge. I guess I don't need the compass whenever we're doing this sort of travel. It feels a bit posh like that. I need some pipeweed in my hand. Yes. You checked the stocks lately. Have I told you about my investment in the House of DeBella and my EFTs? Yeah, this is a huge bridge. Imagine, like, I know this is not supposed to be a realistic depiction of what a bridge would be in the universe. You know, it's just covering the landmass that's already there. But imagine trying to lay siege to this part of the world, or imagine running into highwaymen here. You know, if you're looking at it, it almost starts to look like we're going backwards because of the way the textures interface. It's kind of trance-like kind of state we were in there. Okay, we're low on stamina. Whatever are we to do? What? Steel never tiring broadsword? Yeah, okay. a use case for my cool weapon. I probably talked about this in the last stream, but I think it's pretty cute that the first magical item that we come across in this game, like, it repairs our fatigue, it heals our fatigue, and our last character died due to lack of fatigue. It comes full circle. I mean, with a bridge like that, it's just like one big choke point, and I think your army at that point wants to switch to like a naval encounter to get around that. Sure hope the enemy doesn't have some sort of big net that gets covered in oil that they can light on fire to keep our ships out, or something like that. That would be bad. Putting the nope in Constantinople. That was pretty cool. I liked that little brief journey arriving at night. We should be able to find, yeah, the House of Dibella southwest. Southwest. A dark shape steps from the crowded square. I was looking for a bogey around here somewhere, didn't find it. It's supposed to be southeast. Because of SpongeBob, I get my east and my west mixed up. Try to get the Numidium. Now, how do I make that work? I can't tell if that's an honest suggestion. You just like role play like you're trying to get the Numidium. I don't know if there's like a mechanic for that necessarily. Maybe there doesn't have to be. The House of Dibella could use it. What would the House of Dibella use the Numidium for? Honest question. What are we up to? Okay. I can put the compass away now. Yeah, they're not gonna promote me for a while here. Alright, so the ruler's in the Iliac Bay, but we can't really do that because I messed up the main quest, right? Like, because I've never met Lady Brissiana. I could be wrong. So things on our to-do list. Spend money. We have not a ton to... Oh, yeah, we want to go to an alchemist. We won't be able to do that till tomorrow. Alright. Let's go. Man, it feels... Well, no. We might have... There might be some alchemists who are open even though it's dark. Oh, Cloco. We still have our first horse. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I would feel much more comfortable if we had a decent little retinue of potions to rely on, because we don't have a lot right now. We have restoration, but that's not like a reason to not have some actual emergency potions. Having the House of Dibella in control of Numidium is like giving some, you know, peace and love hippies Numidium, like in the 60s. They just like wish for world peace without any war involved or something like that. Oh, yes. I love this set piece. This is so cool. Oh, this is like where you might have like an open discourse with about local politics or about the local incarnate word or something like that. That's cool. I thought it was like a theatrical stage at first, but it has a podium. Cliffworms, man. Knocking it out every time. So did I just not find a single alchemist out here? What's the dealio? Yeah, man, I think the Cliffworm is just... I'm always talking about it, but he did such a great job bringing this market area to life, cities in general. Hey, man, there are no alchemists in the capital city? Are you kidding me, bro? What tragedy. Yeah, auctions. Yeah, definitely. I wish that the main quest mod that allows you to not do all the prerequisite quests, but I don't know, true. It's called the dynamic main quest. No, main quest enhanced. I don't know. I wish that worked properly, but people report that a lot of the times the quests don't populate the way they should. But that sounds like a really cool way to experience the main quest. Our sugar lumps are conveniently gone the moment that I want to call my horsey back to me, dude. No, Lorcan Demiurge is honestly really, really cool. Yeah, I mean, the Chezareans are pretty much as close as we're gonna get to an incarnate word, but I like Justinus. I don't know. I like the idea of Lorcan being a demiurge, and he's not really a benevolent entity if you're a demiurge, whereas the incarnate word is like benevolence itself. Some light shopping here. Yeah, that is as close as we get, the Chezareans, to the incarnate word. So I think my chalk mod is messed up right now. If I buy a new piece of chalk, it comes in yeah, it comes in transparent and I can't actually use it. So I'll have to uninstall and reinstall that mod. That's what fixed it last time. Bandages, yes, thank you. I don't know if I saw that many, but it is good to keep an eye out for them. I think I grabbed like one. Oh, here we go. Oh, speaking of reminders, let's drop a quick save while we're at it. The idea that Demiurge is not benevolent is Gnostic misappropriation. Hold up. I might be misunderstanding what the Demiurge is. If I always thought that the idea of the Demiurge was treating Yahweh as like some evil person that wants a bunch of slaughter to occur on Earth. So he's like in heavenly malevolent. So if that's not the case, tell me your understanding of the Demiurge so I can know more about it. Granted, if it's a Gnostic thing, Gnostics were not exactly uniform in their beliefs, and so they probably have a multiple ideas about what the Demiurge would be. That's what I'm trying to get at. What else we can look at? If there's a bookstore in this town square area, we could get maybe we have a chance of getting a map. I always like, well, if my brain cells band together and unite, I like looking for maps. Oh, this is a library. Nice library, though. This is the stuff of thumbnails. I'm not going to remember to do that. But I need to update the thumbnail to not have the... Oh, this is the stuff of thumbnails. I need to update my thumbnail to not have the werewolf jump scare anymore. This would be a good one for it. Alright, Cloco. Let's go to, I guess, the House of Debella to rest, and then the Fighters Guild could send us to a dungeon. We're getting close to my prescribed 10:30 end mark. We'll see how well I do, because I always have so much fun streaming that I always go over, like it seems like. The Gnostics drew the connection between Yahweh and the Demiurge and made it malevolent. Well, except for Valentians, they held more of a Platonic view. Drew the connection between Yahweh and the Demiurge and made it malevolent. So, tell me about what the Demiurge would be. Is the Demiurge always considered Yahweh? And if so, was he not considered malevolent by some? But the idea of Yahweh, hold on, medical, streetwise, mercantile, and swimming, running. It's funny that we got the swimming level up, maybe from getting lost on the road, but that was a long time ago. Um, hold on. So, I'm trying to get this straight. Calling Yahweh the Demiurge necessitates that there is some higher almighty above Yahweh, which doesn't square well with any like Orthodox, and I'm not meaning specifically the Orthodox Church, but like any Christian reading of Yahweh. So I've never, maybe I'm not following the thread very well. Valentius only invented his own heresy anyway, since he was miffed that his fellow Roman clergy decided not to elect him as Bishop of Rome. Oh, hold on. Whoa, what is this? You become aware that hooded woman. We have 3 options here. That's crazy. Demiurge is first a Platonic idea. He is the world maker who forms the chaotic matter according to the wisdom of the eternal forms. Thus, he makes the world to be a good place. It is. Even if spiritual being is better than material being, the best is not enemy of merely. Okay. So, in this idea, the Demiurge is the one that shapes the matter, but he's not necessarily the one who created the matter. Is that what? Okay. I think I'm following what y'all are putting down. Y'all know more about this than me, so it's very interesting. You become aware of a hooded woman watching you nearby. Okay, another tangent before I read this. There's an idea, I might be just reading too far into these lyrics, but there's a song by Guided by Voices that I like a lot off of the album Alien Lanes. It might just be called As We Go Up, We Go Down, but the singer says, as we go up, we go down, which reminds me of this idea that the Demiurge wants us to be the elect so he could torture us for longer. And then he says, because the truth, is just a lie. And, Christ is the way, the truth, and the life. And so I could be reading into those lyrics too far, but I love that song, and those lyrics kind of make me spiral or leave a bad taste in my mouth some, because it sounds like they're slandering Christ. But maybe I'm just a zealot and I'm looking for people to be mad at in case they are slandering Christ, when really he's just like singing a song. You know what I mean? Okay, going back to Daggerfall for a minute. Greetings, stranger. I have gold and you have blood. We must exchange. I insist, please. She bears fangs and requests feed from you for 25 gold. Do you allow her to drain your blood? Or if you are daring, you could try to slay this vampire. Do you accept and allow her to feed, reject and refuse, or counter to attack the vampire? Now, this is hard because I don't think we could defeat a vampire right now. What are we doing right now? We just left the temple of the House of Dibella and we're going to the Fighters Guild. Oh man, I'm such a coward. We're just gonna reject. I'm sorry, Dibella. I don't feel strong enough. I thought that it was gonna be much later in the day. Wait, did it say there was an enemy nearby? It did. What's that about? Hey, man. Guards. This guy's got pretty good melee damage. Yeah. Oh, hey. I was not expecting to use my bandages in this fight with a burglar. Spoke too soon. Hey, this is pretty cool. He's actually loaded up with burglar loot and a dress. He must have stolen this nightgown. Lich dust. That's a good find. You see the name of this alchemy ingredient? Sursum. Sursum right for trying to attack me. Sorry. You gotta do what you gotta do, you know, these trying times. Alright, now we gotta rest again, because we're out of magicka. Yeah, I'm reading your bit now, Scouting Spartan, that we, what do you say, that we enter into heaven by forgiving ourselves for our sins. And we can leave hell and get to heaven by forgiving our sins. I didn't know that the Great Divorce talked about that. That's interesting. I don't want to speak too much about the eschaton like that because I'm such a noob. But there's another thing. I don't want to read all this right now. But we should take what we know, what we believe about atonement from Scripture and the Church Fathers. And that's basically involves genuine repentance, the forgiveness of others, and not judging others, along with the sacrament of confession. It's a really by-the-book answer, I know. I'm interesting, David, if you can explain the connection to the Great Divorce there and what C.S. Lewis has had to say on this topic, because I want to know more about this line of thought that Spartans brought it up here. Hey, congratulations, Bandari. Because of your outstanding weaponry prowess, we have promoted you to the rank of swordsman in the guild. Among other benefits, this increase means cheaper weapon repair and more profitable work assignments. Sweet. Y'all, whenever I hear the word swordsman, I always think of this song Swordsman from the album Liquid Swords by GZA, GZA, from the Wu-Tang Clan. And I actually, whenever I thought that Berserk was... I can't stomach Berserk these days, the manga. But whenever I read Berserk, whenever there were fight scenes going on, I almost always listened to certain tracks like Enter the Fourth Chamber, or Swordsman, or Gold Fiends, or whatever it's called. It might just be called Fiends. Off that album while reading Berserk. It seemed so fitting to me for some reason. We have some money to burn. I kind of want to go to a pawn shop to look for an item. But we're at the Fighters Guild already. Let's just go ahead and get training in archery, because it's pretty affordable. Let's go ahead and get the quest. Okay, so this one. Yeah, it's for killing a person, but let me give you the background first. The old lady who's paying us is a widow with only one son. Well, had one son. The Dark Brotherhood got him, and now that she's destitute, she's using her savings for vengeance. Does that motivate you? I don't know, guys. It's a local quest, but I was wanting a dungeon, and this leaves a bad taste in my mouth as a servant of Dibella. I think I'm going to say no. Mindari Ivythorn, isn't it? I love that name. It's mostly procedurally generated, but I love it. Just who I was looking for. We have a rather interesting job requiring a bit of brains rather than brawn. Are you interested? You will need to travel to Castle Ferrar, which is 3 days travel to southwest. Yo. Let's add this to our list here. Castle Ferrar. So satisfying using this little keyboard. Here's the situation. Seems Bertha has a pet saber-toothed tiger. Don't go and ask. It ran off a few days ago. He had it tracked to Castle Ferrar, and we now need someone to go there and bring it out alive. The trick is that it's all been trained to respond to this bell. The tiger should become docile. I think we've done this quest before, but I don't care because it's taking us to a dungeon. So we got to go smack it upside the head once or twice to get its attention. Just don't kill it, okay? Bring it back to Bertha at the palace. In one piece within 34 days. That's pretty good pay. We got pretty good time to do it. Let's go ahead and head to our dungeon. And we take the wagon or leave it? I guess we take it. Okay. Let's see where Castle Ferrar is. It's kind of Ferrar away. Let's travel to Daminia. Man, do we have a mark set up somewhere? I don't know if we have an anchor set up somewhere. So let's go ahead and... I forgot all about this spell, honestly. Anchor. We're Tagonus, right? Notes. Anchor, Tygonus, Tygonus. Curious to read more about the Great Divorce conversation whenever we get on the road here. Okay, we need to go west. Yeah, I'm not gonna help you with this delivery, forgive me. Okay. Oh, come on. Okay, the guards got him. It sees your eternal so I'm assuming you're talking about the Great Divorce here. It sees your eternal destiny already beginning in the decisions of this life. It poses a number of encounters where a person who is dying has to choose their fundamental attitude. Okay. In each instance, it is unclear whether a person is going to perdition or to heaven. In each case, no matter the past, if one chooses correctly, then the past becomes the beginning of felicity. You know, I don't want to talk about doctrine too much because I'm so unqualified, but there is an idea, I'm not preaching for purgatory here, but there's an idea that the soul sort of wanders for about 40 days before reaching its final reward. And there's a tradition that sometimes the soul is tempted during that period. And then, you know, regardless of what kind of life you've led at that time, if your reflections, basically your actions during that point could lead you into a bad place, I guess is what I'm saying there. By the way, Pinrider, I saw your comment about reading, like listening to metal while reading Berserk. That's totally valid. I just see Jizza as like the hip hop version of metal. I'm sure there's a lot better like there are things that are more analogous to metal and hip hop than Jizza, but I really, really like that album Liquid Swords. Is this not it? That's not it. Fiends ain't coming fast enough. There is no clip that's full enough. I can't fold, I need gold, I re-up, I reload. Product must be sold to you. It's that kind of music that I just don't listen to anymore, but it's very, like, it's almost nostalgic for me. Oh, you have an archer on the battlements. That's really good. That's great. We're kind of outnumbered here, gang. My gauntlets have been broken. Pacify the archer. Follow me. Archer joins the party. Hey, 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 let's try to pacify. Knight scoffs at us. Let's go up here and see if we can get this one to join our team. Did I buy climbing yet? No, climbing's not our thing. Yeah, Spartan, we're going in, we're going out. We're just doing a little scouting mission. Alright, follow me. Okay, we didn't get them, but that's okay. Alright, yeah, we're doing some scouting here. Okay. Yeah, Justinus, it is, what I was describing is similar to toll houses. I didn't want to use the T word because it's not doctrine or dogma as far as I understand. But the journey, we read in the pre-communion prayers, like, let the holy things be for like a defense against like the judgment seat, as well as a journey toward everlasting life. And so, like, there's a reason why people on their deathbed receive communion. Like, there's something mysterious about the indwelling of grace that comes with that. Now, I don't want to upset the Protestants by talking about, like, how sacraments help us, but it's like, it's still God's grace, okay? But you're getting, like, sort of an infusion of God's deification to help protect you during that journey, whatever. Now, someone asked in the chat, how could you possibly know that? And that's a valid question, and I don't know. You know, you take it with a grain of salt. and you kind of live your life in preparation, assuming that today is going to be your day, and you try to love everyone you meet as if they are Christ himself, and you try to not judge people, and you try to forgive people whenever you are hurt by them. I don't know that we know anything about it. That's also why I didn't want to bring the toll houses by that name necessarily. It's because we really don't have much of a basis to go off of. And I'm so new to the faith that I can't speak to it, really. I shouldn't, anyway. Let's go back to our wagon, and if we're just fighting animals in this dungeon, I want to switch to the kite shield. So let's put this away. Let's get the kite shield and the light flail in case we need some real source of damage. And this means that our torch will drop whenever we want to use our shield. Alright, our archer friend is going to help us out a bit here. There, come on, turn on the light. Yeah, climbing isn't our thing. I guess I meant that we didn't have thaumaturgy as a spell. Speaking of which, I did go climbing yesterday. Oh, a boar. Oh, I kept the wrong flail. That's okay. Most of my week off was not spent doing recreational activities that I would have chosen. You know, whenever you're in whenever you are a father or a parent of some sort, you end up working a lot during this period, right? It's for the joy of your family. Anyway, I did end up going rock climbing with my buddies from church. It's actually my friend from church that climbs with me. He's a young agnostic man. He's 18 years old, and this makes me so joyful, and I'm just going to brag about it here because I don't know where else to talk about it, and maybe I shouldn't brag about it at all. Oh no, close that door. No, I don't want to fight a scorpion. That's my warning to not talk about it. But anyway, he and his girlfriend, I don't know really what their views are, but they keep coming to our little small Orthodox parish, and it's so cute. And yeah, he bought his first pair of climbing shoes yesterday, so he's officially a climber. And I kind of made a new friend up there because I mentioned, hey, I live near this place where we can do some outdoor bouldering if you're interested. And we'll see if anything really comes of it. Oh, no. I'm here to fight a lycanthrope. Not a lycanthrope. It seems like no matter where I go, we keep getting challenged by the lycanthrope question. Oh, I think I heard conflict. Dude, great. Maybe I just walk away from this, but I want to see who wins. Who would win this is like a 12-year-old discussion. Who would win in a fight between a giant scorpion and a werewolf? Oh no. He might be weakened though. Please don't be locked. Oh. This is bad. We're okay, we have an anchor if we get too dicey. But you know you're in a bad way whenever you're running heedlessly through the dungeon. Oh yeah, smacking these things out of the sky. Thank you, Rory, for the mod, Tome of Battle. Feels so good. Okay, let's go ahead and set up our camp, more for cooking than anything else. Alright, I think there's too much going on in the chat for me to truly get caught up, but that's okay. Just doing a little bit of reading. Yeah, I thought the scorpion had that one, guys. I have to go down here and kill the bats to pick up my campfire, or can I be far enough away? Now, I actually have not read the book by Father Seraphim Rose about that. There was one... I don't want to talk about it too much. See, the toll houses are such a point of contention that I don't even want to think about them, you know? because like my God is love and mercy, so it's weird to think that the concept called the toll houses exist. But there's like, here I am talking about it. Dang it, Micah. Okay, we gotta run. What was I gonna say? I absolutely love and adore Father Seraphim Rose. But yeah, there are some things it's like I don't want to know about. There's some like mysteries and like traditions that I think are best for monastics and that lay people and even a lot of clergy. You know, we don't have a lot of business learning about it. Like, it's not safe for our faith almost. We're gonna start doubting either our faith or the merciful like tendency of our God, you know? The merciful nature of our God. The Bible Illustrated channel does a pretty good job of, he has a video, Bojan, he's a Serbian Orthodox Christian. He has a video about toll houses that kind of summarizes my view of it pretty well. But I hesitate to have an opinion about it. Don't think I have any right to one. Yeah, so Father Seraphim Rose's takes on Alan Watts. I believe Father Seraphim like studied under Alan Watts for a while, and then I mean it was whenever he went to a divine liturgy that he got sort of disillusioned. Like he saw that Orthodox Christianity was the fulfillment of all the mysteries that those Eastern religions were trying to capture, right? And where Alan Watts ended up, I don't know about Father Seraphim Rose's take on him specifically, except I heard that Father Seraphim Rose was a pupil of his, right? But where Father Seraphim ended up being this clairvoyant elder who ends up bringing a lot of people to Christ, posthumously, admittedly. Oh, snap. He ends up bringing a lot of people to Christ and is a clairvoyant elder and is like this really highly spiritual man. Alan Watts is like a sort of burned out alcoholic in his last days. Like you'll know them by their fruits, you know what I mean? People love Alan Watts because he has the appearance of something deep. He has the appearance of like something spiritual that requires no accountability or what's the word? Repentance. Oh no, he trapped us. Okay, we're gonna do it again. I'm not throwing, I swear. I just think that we've leveled up some. Maybe we go back to the cart and get our shield for this part. Because I do want to fight this werewolf. But I want to get the right flail in our hands for us to do that. Okay. You wish to access your wagon. I do. I want to get my light flail. I want to unequip this flail. I want to move the elven flail there. I want to equip these two things. Let me read the chat for a minute. Yeah, so Steven, I'm assuming that you hold on. You're saying that you want to know everything. I'm assuming you're referring to like our discussion about not knowing about what happens after death or the toll houses and things like that. Like things will be revealed to us whenever they're ready for us. You can study and you can like read what this person says and what that person says, and you're gonna find conflicting things. I think we're not really going to know about what happens after death until it's time for our own journeys. You know what I mean? So I understand your disposition toward that, but there are some things that they're not going to be revealed to us, like especially not whenever we want them to. They're going to come at our worst times. It's going to be right whenever we need it. Did we run away from the werewolf too far? Oh! It actually sounds like a wereboar based on the squeals. You think I'd forget about you? We need to be more careful. We got him. He got us. Okay, cast a spell, Micah. That did not heal for very much. Oh. Last bandage. We do have some potions whenever we run out of healing as well. Dude. Dude. Yeah. Yes, sir. We did it. We ran through all of our bandages and all of our spell points, but we did not use a potion. Did not use a potion. Very wholesome chat going on over here. Not just a bit about me winning, but yeah, very wholesome chat. I love the dialogue y'all have going on in there. Yeah, we did it. Yeah, that's the thing. We've had a few level ups since we're only level 4 actually. It's pretty dicey, but we've had a few level ups. We have plenty of healing. We had a big old tower shield to help us out. I'm very pleased with how that turned out, and I'm satisfied to go set up camp somewhere in this dungeon, or maybe on the battlements, and drop a save and come back to this maybe Friday night, maybe next week. Check his body to see if infected. Is that what you mean? Check my body? I don't know. It'd probably be a good idea to cast some Cure Disease. I got turned around. Mechanically, I'm not really sure what the difference is between a werewolf and a wereboar whenever it infects the player. However, I believe that a werewolf has a couple of, like, the enemy is a little bit stronger than a wereboar. Like, it has a couple extra levels on it. We don't necessarily want to access our wagon. I want to go out here and make camp on the battlements. Am I able to climb up here? We could probably get up here. And we have, like, our archer buddies up here. Now, just to be cautious... Oh, whoa! Come on, get there, Mindari. Just to be cautious, I will probably cast Cure Disease a couple of times, just to make sure that we don't have anything here. But yeah, this will be a cute place to start off the next session, right? Quick save. HUD off. Yeah. Look at that blood red sky. I actually want the HUD back on in case something jumps us. Keep an eye on our Magicka bar here. Hey, yo. Wereboar and werewolf are purely cosmetic for the player, according to the UESP. That's great. That's good to know. Eat some, yeah. Try to eat some meat. We weren't quite ready for it, but that's okay. It's a good reminder. Personality, speed, endurance. Maybe we bump personality and endurance a couple times and a point in intelligence. Another foggy day. Must be something about this climate. Or maybe it's because it's springtime. So we want to go ahead and cast Cure Disease. Spell effect failed. And we're just going to stay up here and cure disease grinds. I mean, it has the benefit of helping us level up restoration. Okay, there it goes. But it's mostly just to make sure that we did not get diseased. Defeated werebore. Let's do like, there we go. Maybe, do we do equals 3 for this moment? I like it. Oh, it's because we're near the sea. Maybe. Eat before it goes rotten. I'm down. Level 5. We turned a corner. We turned a corner. We're starting to have money. We're starting to have... I mean, our HP is nearly at 100, which is... Honestly, it's higher than most enemies. Or for many enemies. So that's cool. Yeah, I'm pleased with how it all turned out. Let's get one view. Our save is from right down here, but let's get a view from up here. Not that we'll be able to see anything. But this is just part of the charm of Daggerfall, is climbing up to the highest thing. My goodness. What about, do we have... We have levitate, but not slow fall. I wanted to jump off and slow fall some. And glide out into the distance. Oh yeah, a vampire could still drop us. A lot of enemies could still drop us, no problem. Alright guys. I'm going to call it a night. It's been a pleasure streaming with you all and chatting with you all, learning about the Demiurge and Seraphim Rose's relationship to Alan Watts. And really appreciate all the conversation that we get to have together. I look forward to the next one. Now, I got to say, wife and kiddo, the current plan is for them to be out of town Friday night, so there's a good chance that I'm going to stream again on Friday night. I'm going to make sure that I'm well rested enough to do that then and all that. But yeah, it's been great talking to you all. Y'all have a good night. I'll see you next time.